Yo, 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 yo! How you guys doing over there, baby? Forget about it! Happy Thursday evening, everybody. We're almost going to start off with the kick on the freaking weekend. BSP, Fluid Vapor, Spec Silly. How you guys doing over there? Forget about it. Deeds! Big Fire, Taz, Sweller, forget about it. We got a whole new nice crew over here tonight, that's for sure. Forget about it. Oh man, we got Yogi, we got Timmy, we got Teacup, we got Sweller, we got Smoking Shadow, forget about it. We got Smack Silly, Red Wolf, Pony, Purple. Oh man, Mass Mom, Lisa, Jupin, J.K. G's and Bazin, forget about it. How Basketball Freed, 4Chat, Bot Lover. We got Escalade Dude, Elizabeth 76, Cupid, Choco, Bruce, Big Fire, forget about it. You, Warrior Vapor, Taylor Made, Super Fast. We got Shadow, Scart, Sachi, Phantom, Montgomery. Oh man, Machiavelli, Liggy Stales, Jeremy, Jaxol, JP is in the house. Forget about it. That's for sure. We got Hawkeyes, we got Fluid Vapor, Dirty Duck, Deeds, Double G, Catbox, B-Mac. Oh man, Big Fran. Forget about it. Ooh man, we got Battered Haynock, Ariel, American Pirate. Oh man, we got a whole host over here tonight, that's for sure. Oh man, we got Vite, we got Scruff, we got Same Faith, BSP, Sean, VIP. Ooh, forget about it. It is looking nice and good over here. We got Crazy Lloyd and DGM, my man Taz. Forget about it. And of course we got Mr. Vaughn over there. Admin bot. Forget about it. I'll give him an admin bot. Give him an enema. How's that? Forget about it. That's for sure. So how you guys doing over there tonight, baby? Forget about it. Oh man, so like I said, man, we got the man, the myth, the legend, that's for sure. He is on, baby. Forget about it. We got Emio. The man is in the house.
Hey, Bishop. How are you?
Oh, Emio. Welcome, Emio. How you doing over there, baby? Forget about it. That's for sure. I want to make sure everyone can hear you nice and clear.
Yes, I hear you nice and clear.
Now check in the room. Can the room hear Emio nice and clear?
I see a small delay on my moves on the screen.
Don't worry, it's normal. It's okay. Forget about it.
Okay.
Big Fire says hello. Bruce says hello. Oh man, you see everybody on the chat window on the side?
Yes.
There you go. Forget about it. Look at that. Look at that. See? Lots of admirers. That's for sure. Man, forget about it. Oh.
Good morning, Blacksmith. How are you? Thanks for the invitation.
Oh, you're very welcome. We're very thankful to have you here, that's for sure. But you know, Blacksmith has been very eagerly asking, that's for sure. Achilles, baby, Achilles!
I have Achilles here. I read it on UFS.
There you go! There you go! BSP! You gotta show BSP. BSP is gonna have a left nut dance, that's for sure. Forget about it. There we go. Much better. The man himself. Let me dedicate the whole screen for him. That's for sure. And, you know, because of his little girls, that's for sure. I gotta do this. That would work, right? I think it would. Forget about it. Yeah, thank you, Emil, for coming. I know it's late. Well, it's very early in the morning for you out in Greece, that's for sure. But we've been dying to see you again and find out the progress and to thank you for Ithaca. I mean, this thing has been hitting like a freight train for me. I mean, it's just been an enormous, enormous delight. Lots of flavor, lots of vapor production. It's definitely not for a novice vapor, that's for sure. Especially, I mean, with all the bells and whistles you've added, all the compartments, I mean, with all the parts that you have on here, it's totally a lot of parts.
Thank you, Bishop. And I was wondering why some people have leakage on Ithaca. I wrote on the G forum that I really tried to make it leak, and I can. And I think that some things, some friends on the G forum haven't understand well. So I have maybe to make another video. I think that the main issue is that they don't screw well the rebuildable part with on the Ithaca base.
Oh, wait, I think we just lost your audio.
But you don't hear me?
Oh, now I hear you. I hear you. We're good.
Okay.
We're good. We're good. No, as far as before I forget, because someone did ask as far as for the pre-orders, we still have pre-orders up to, what is it, the 27th, I think? To the ending of this month, almost?
Pre-orders stopped at 22 of this month. It's 2 days ago.
Oh, it's already over?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yes, and I think that I will be ready for shipping in about a month from now.
1 month. See,
Yes.
now people can be excited. They don't have to wait 3 months or 2 months. 1 month, that's it. 1 month! Forget about it!
They passed, of course, 2 months from the first people that pre-order. I need always about 3 months to make so big batches. For example, if I make 500 GTS, I will need less time. I will need 1.5 months. But this time the batches were too big. I made 4,000 Ithacas the first time, and now I made another 3,000. It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and they
And
sold
because
out
Ithaca
quick.
has a lot of parts, you understand how much time I need for those. I think that I was really quick. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. Really good.
I hear you too now. And that's the problem. That's the problem. Imagine that I contact to a German factory and I ask them about how much time I will need to produce so many GG constructions, and they tell me, and they told me the same amount of money of time. It's not a matter of CNC machines or a factory. It's a matter of pieces and construction.
Right.
It's not easy. You know,
It's because all the
see,
CNC machines are doing one particular part, and then once you're done, let's say if it was 4,000 of that run, then they work on the next part, and then it's like another 4,000. I'm talking about in the first batch that you did on the Ithacas. You pretty much have like the CNC machines dedicated on 1 or 2 if it's the upper cap or if it's the assembly.
Yes, we need then the cleaning, the assembly, but the CNC machines, they make the first phase of your construction, and then they do the second phase. So they put 3 or 4 things together on machines, and then when the first phase stops, they turn it around, make the second phase. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of time. If I could be quicker, I would do it, but it's impossible.
That's understandable. I totally understand. You know, and just for the record, how many CNC machines you have? I know you mentioned it before. How many?
I had 10 CNC machines. 8 of them are moderns. 2 of them are a little older. Now we order 1 more CNC machine that will come in 3 days from with the ship. and I have 3 more CNC machines from another CNC machine shop. Imagine that I will have in 2-3 days 14 CNC machines. It's a lot amount of machines.
It's a lot. It's a lot of machines, and also the cost goes with those CNC machines. I mean, they're not cheap. That's for sure.
No, no, not at all. The cheapest one costs 120,000 euros, and some machines costs even more. We have a machine that its cost is 250,000 euros. Yes,
Yeah,
it's a
that
lot
is
of
a
money.
lot. That is a lot. You know.
Yes, it's like you buy a house here in Greece.
Yeah, you should buy me one. I'll go over there, right next to yours.
I have bought a house. I bought it 6 years ago, and I owe money to the bank. I need 23 more years, and then house will be mine.
There we go. There we go. But we got to talk about this Ithaca, man, because I adore it. I love it because of this is like, to me, in my personal opinion, one of the best silica Addies RBAs that's out there with the tank. I mean, I've tried many, but this has totally overcome as far as in flavor, vapor production, and taste, and the size of the tank. Literally the size of the tank. I mean, I can use the OD expansion parts and expand the tank even more. You know,
Yes, yes.
and it's. I mean, and then I don't know if you had time to try those razor edge coils that I came out with using the 0.4 ribbon. It's
not
insane.
a matter of it's not a matter of time. I don't have those coils here. Maybe to buy some to try them, because I see on your video that they vape very nice.
That's what I'm using right now on here. I mean, I'll be more than happy to send you some. That's for sure. I'll send it to Vasilis. I mean, this thing is just unbelievable. Totally unbelievable.
Yes, no problem, because I don't know where to buy them. So if you won't send me, I would be glad to receive them.
Yeah, I also I asked Rob from Fluid Vapor to send you guys as far as for the Optronics batteries. He sent it to Vasilis. I don't know if he has gotten them yet or if you received them any.
No.
Not yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. No.
It should be in the process. It should be already in, I don't know. I mean, he sent it out last week, so maybe within another week it should arrive there. That's for sure.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much, Bish. I will wait.
I sent 2 for you, 2 for Vasilis, and 2 for Manos. That's for sure. Yeah.
Thank you very
After the 4th charge, I'm telling you, it's like better than the MNKEs, especially when you're going on these sub-ohms, man.
Bishop, I want to ask you something, because on GG forum some people ask me about this. Do you have this small noise on Ithaca while you are vaping? When I say noise, it's like a very small gurgling. It's not a gurgling. It's more like a noise.
I know what it is. I know exactly what it is. I know exactly what it is. But you know what it is? After playing with it, I saw your video. You know, the one that you did with taking a paper towel, put it around the mouthpiece, and just shaking it like that. Okay, and you get any excessive juice out. That's what they hear, but it's not leaking. You know, it's not leaking. It's like a bubbling. It's like bubbles. Like they're hearing bubbles. And it's not gurgling.
Yes.
And you know what it is? It's the automatic feeder. If they're not using the right amount of wick, or if they have the automatic feeder open and they have it designated on both channels and both channels don't have sufficient wick, like let's say 3M wick or 3.5 wick, they're gonna hear those bubbles. Now I'm using 1.5. Okay, I'm using 2 1.5s on one channel, and the other channel is just one 1.5. So when I move the automatic feeder, it's just well, I can't because I got juice already on here, but otherwise I would show it. But I would angle it on the one with the 2 wicks. but I put it a little bit more farther against that channel. That's it, and I don't get those noises. I don't hear any bubbles or anything like that at all.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yes.
I'll do a nice little tweak video on it, how to tweak the usage of Ithaca. That's for sure. You know.
Yes, that would be nice. That would be nice. Yes.
I don't get no bubbles, no nothing at all. Ever since and you know what? I owe Manos for that. Manos was the one that actually showed me that. You know, he said, you know, move it a little bit more, and I didn't think it was gonna get juice in the channel, and I moved it more, and I left like very little showing that's open on the channel, and that was it. That gone, no problem.
Yes, okay. I will wait for the video because I have this small noise, very rare, and I just close. I bump Ithaca and close a liquid control, and then I open it again. It was not an issue for me when I made Ithaca, so I didn't pay attention to this. But I'm asking because some people have mentioned that thing on HG forum, and I wanted to ask you.
No, it's true. It's true because I heard it, and Rob from Fluid Vapor, I gave him my Ithaca, so he has it, and he's experienced it. And what we were doing before was just removing it from the base and just blowing out directly from the 510 out, and that's pretty quicker. But it's really the automatic feeder and how much wick you're using. That's all. I mean, those channels are big enough to handle 3.5 wicks and 3M wicks. If I use 3.5 or 3M wicks on both channels, even if I have the automatic feeder in the middle, there is no way, I can guarantee you, there is no way that anyone should be experiencing bubbles. There's no way. If they're using 3M wick or 3.5 wick. It's only when you start going down to 2M, 1.5, or 1M wick is when you'll hear that. And the thing is, I like using 1.5s because it gives me more of a IATI draw. It gives me like an IATI sharp, steamy draw. Better than using the 3M wicks, that's all, or the 3.5 wicks. So if I want more air of an intake, very sharp, I use 1.5 wicks. And now I'm going to experiment with 1M wick to see, you know, how much more of a difference, you know. And maybe I'll have the automatic feeder on close on the 1M wicks, you know. But I got to play with it. You know what it is? I'm playing with it so much that I'm just enjoying it every time I get to play with it. So, you know, I need more of these babies in order to keep, you know, finagling different builds and stuff, you know. That's for sure.
I really like to make complicated things, but they must be easy to be used, to be handled from the user. I hope I reach this purpose with Ithaca.
Smack D Silly mentioning about the Equal. I actually ordered some. I tried some over the weekend from Max. He brought some with him. We were vaping it at Fluid Vapor, and it worked out beautifully. It's the one with the braids. It's like a Nextel wick, except it's flat. Instead of it being in a diameter in a circle, it's just completely flat. Oh, that's Max? Oh, man, I didn't know Smack. Oh, okay. All right, Smack is Max. Okay. Man, these people with their avatar names. Yeah, he's, we went to Fluid Vapor last weekend, and he had that wick, and it was working out very, very, extremely nice, that's for sure. And he actually learned how to make the razor edge coils. And he didn't vape it there. He said, no, I'm gonna wait till I get home, and I'm gonna enjoy this when I get home. So, Smack D Silly, I gotta ask you, how was it? Max, how was it? Am I lagging? Oh, he had it with Cernana juice. All right. Beast mode. Yes, definitely. I mean, you can hear this crackling. You hear that? You can fry an egg on there. Forget about it. Maybe some bacon. That's for sure. Some hams. Mmm. Oh boy. Okay. It's probably my voice. I'll lower it down a notch so it doesn't echo. Yeah, the ohms on this right now, I believe. Well, I just popped this in today. And I really like the .4s. Man, the .4 Canthols with the silvers, they light up so quick. No, this was at .7. Don't shoot me, people. But it's hitting really nice, though. Now, you came out with something new on the Ithaca that you're going to be releasing soon. If you could tell us a little bit about it with the telescopic mouthpiece, that's for sure. Emil, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Bishop. You talked about telescopic mouthpiece.
Yeah, if you can show us a little bit about it.
Yes.
I mean, you put up a little video on it, and it was beautiful. Yep.
You saw the video. I made it because some people want more liquid on the Ithaca. I believe that 4 ml of liquid was enough, but some people want more. No problem. That's why I made it. And we can put it inside Ithaca, and we can make Ithaca even shorter by replacing the clear window with the steel window. I say that we have to replace it because it will leave the clear window in Ithaca, and we screw and unscrew the cap to refill. Clear window will be ruined in a short of time. That's why I prefer to put a steel window and make Ithaca shorter. And we can make it even longer by putting 2 more tubes on the upper tube, on the existing upper tube. So every small upper tube we put, we add 2 more liquids of 2 more ml of capacity. It's like this. You have seen the video. We open it, and it can go in any place while pushing it. And it can be very short, shorter than the original mouthpiece. So we can use Ithaca in a short mode. We can put it in any place. We have the orange here. That let this tube move around smoothly on the polygonal neck. And the neck is polygonal because if we keep a mouthpiece from here, it must turn together the mouthpiece. And with that mouthpiece, we have the ability to make our mouthpiece long or short, even if we use it in a regular mode or in short mode. Because some people want a longer mouthpiece than what I made in first place. My original mouthpiece is about 18 millimeters sticking out of Ithaca. Some people want to have it at 20 or 22 or 24. You can do it with a telescopic mouthpiece. And sometimes we can use it, it can work like a bump. I mean that if we have it inside Ithaca like this, and we want to bump more juice because we have a better taste, we can open it, of course, but there is another way. You can push it a little and take it back to its original state. You can push it, and you can. It it works like a small pump. I don't think that people will use it like this, but it's a future that the telescopic mouthpiece has.
And it's very, when you close it, it's like you can't even see the threading.
There's no threading, of course. It's only a polygonal neck, but you can't see it either because it's inside the Ithaca. When you vape Ithaca, you see only this,
right.
This, and this is hidden.
Nice. And there's no juice that's going to go up there because of the O-rings.
Yes, exactly. O-rings play two roles. First one is to make the smooth moving, and the other one is not to go juice inside the polygonal neck. And
that will give you the ease to actually do an automatic drip, as far as the drip on Ithaca, right? With no problems.
Yes, it works like straight dripper too, like the original mouthpiece. It has the hole here, and it works like a drip. It works exactly. It can do exactly what the original mouthpiece can do, and some more things that I just told you.
Now, and then the other toy that you're coming out with a brand new stealth cap.
Yes. The new stealth cap is the new style of connector. I like it very much because the most of the times when we screw or unscrew the center pin inside the plastic insulator, in a short of time the plastic insulator will be ruined. And if this happens, center pin will not stay in place, and also liquid will go inside the battery of your model. That way with O-rings, we take off the center pin very easy, we can clean it, we can put it inside again very easy, and it doesn't leak because O-rings can be ruined easily. I think that you will have to change O-rings more than a year.
So it's going to be like pretty much similar to the adapter style, like
yes,
the 510 that you created for the GG. It's like
exactly,
a floating brass pin inside with two O-rings. So
exactly.
It would actually compensate right on the, I mean, I have the stealth cap here, but the older model that you would have to screw in, so it would actually be inside here, that floating pin.
And the nice thing is that this center post is moving, so we can, it will be adjusted automatically while you screw your atomizer. And when you unscrew your atomizer, the center pin will go to its original place because battery with the spring push it to this place. And then it will meet again the next atomizer you will put there. And also I made the cap, as you see, it is not rounded, the stealth cap. The stealth cap was rounded here, but now it's not. I prefer it to do it like this, because you will always vape it with an atomizer on it, so you will not be able to see a gap or a gap here like the old stealth cap.
Yeah, I mean, like, if I put it on mine, it's, I mean, it's so minimal, the gap. I mean, when I had it that day on, as far as on, for fluid vapor, let's see, if, which is this right here, this would be the old stealth cap, the previous one, and I really can't hardly tell a gap. But when you screwed this on in your video, it just like this bottom part of the base looked like it just disappeared. Like this part, when you screwed it on your stealth cap, it just went away, and like you made it sharp and flat. So I guess the grooves, they just went missing. I don't know if you have it that you can actually show the difference, because it's so minimal.
Yes, it's not really a gap. It's the, let's say, gap that is produced because we have a rounded cap. but I wanted a totally straight line. I wanted to have stealth with Ithaka or any other fat atomizer to look like one piece. That's why I made it like that.
Yep, yep. Because on your video, that's exactly how it looked like. It looked like it just melted like right on, and you can't even see the seam whatsoever as far as on this stealth cap. You know.
If you see now stealth cap with Ithaka.
Oh, wait, let me bring it in for you. There we go. Yeah, you could hardly see that baseline.
You can't see it. It's like the collector pack of the GPS.
Yeah, there's the little dot. Okay. It's
like one piece. If I screw the ring to this place, you see that it's like one piece. You can't see anything.
Yep, there we go. Absolutely. And when are you going to be taking pre-orders for that?
I will not take pre-orders, Bishop. I will make them and I will sell them via my sellers. And I think that I will ship to them in about 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Ooh, awesome! Now, by any way, are you making any in brass stealth caps?
Yes. The brass parts I am making are venting cap, telescope, extension, stealth cap, and lid for GPS.
Ooh, man. Now, what about for the switch button, the cap? Because I need 5 of those brass pins on the top, baby. Are you making those anytime soon? You know what I'm saying? Shoot, I gotta ask because, you know, I need this part in brass on the top. Shoot, for my GGTSs over here.
Yes. All buttons will have a brass head with the new brass alloy that can't tarnish easy, because we will have an even better electrical connection with the brass head, because spring makes contact with the button of the head. Those strings will stay stainless steel because they don't contact electricity, and the case of a button and the center pin will be brass too, with the new alloy of brass. The new alloy of brass will apply to the axis of GGTS2 and on its center pin. So GGTS will be made. All connections of GGTS will be made from this kind of brass.
Wow, that is sweet. That is sweet, man.
Yes.
I just gotta fill up. I already emptied out my tank.
I want to say something else about plating, because if you remember, before 2 years, if I remember well, I plated GGTS 2 years or even more. Plating will build soon, especially on moving contacts that come together, and that will drive us to an even worse connection than even if we had steel contacts. That's why I don't plate them. I can do that. I do that on GTS, but it's not the right procedure. The best we can do on moving contacts is to put pure metal, and the best metal for it is brass and copper. I didn't put copper because brass is almost copper. It has a great conductivity, but copper gets green very quickly, and this is not good for to have a green part.
Well, it's hazardous. It's toxic. You know, to vape anything with copper. I mean, copper is totally toxic. That's for sure. I mean, I remember as a kid, they ripped them out of my radiators. You know, the floor-based heaters. You know, they totally ripped them out because of the steam of the copper that you're breathing in is totally toxic. So, you know, it's same thing with wires. If you were to inhale off of copper wire, or directly from the 510 that's getting moist, or let's say the collector tank, if that was made out of copper, there's moisture at it. I mean, I don't see anybody drinking out of a copper cup, or a mug. It's hazardous. That's for sure.
I didn't care enough about toxicity because liquid doesn't come in contact with those parts. But it's what I told you, it will become green and you have to clean it so often that you will get tired. It's not the right material. I think copper is the best we can put there, except we can put pure precious metal that will be very expensive, and no one do that. You can't do it. If I do that, I have to sell a GTS for 600 euros. People will be able to buy it. And, but even if we do it like this, we will not earn something special. Now we have a loss at 0.1 and we will have a loss at 0.8. 0.08. It's so small what we earn that you can't bother with that thing. It's silly to try to make better contact than brass by plating contact. To my opinion, of course.
No, I understand. I mean, I've dealt with certain PVs that had different plating, and my experience is every vapor is different. And what I mean by that is if you're gonna ram the battery in and right away, if it's a telescopic mod or to screw in the caps, you're hitting those contacts and they're gonna get chipped at a later date. So it's either prolonging, the device by taking care of it, or if it's going to be manhandled, those parts are going to break, quite simply. And to endure the headaches of replacing contacts and seeing that they're getting chipped or cracked, it's not a GG line of devices. You're actually selling high quality devices, and it's the last thing that you would want. I understand that. However, we can't ignore the fact that if it was a silver, completely silver, and that's extremely delicate. I mean, I work with silver wires. I mean, it's extremely delicate. So, I mean, how thick is that silver contact going to be that's still going to break? You're going to have plenty spares. And just to improve of a 0.05 or a 0.03 volt drop difference, I'd rather avoid the headache personally, but I do enjoy it. I gotta admit, I do enjoy having those, a little bit more pushing, voltages, that's for sure. But I understand on a customer basis, on a large, you have to think of the masses, as far as, how are they going to be using this device? Are they going to be manhandling it? So, I mean, your decision making it just brass, I gotta respect, that's for sure. I got to respect your decision on that. But I personally, I enjoy the both worlds. I do. But I do understand the problem is they do chip. I mean, I got another device that I bought additional contacts because it was silver, just in case the event, once it starts chipping. That's for sure, and it gives problems.
Yes. It's not my style. I don't like to hear complaints. I played it GTS, and now I have people telling me that GTS get chipped in some places. I'm talking about older GTS. I don't like that. I want to make a mod that will last almost forever, if we can say that. I want people to have something in their hands that it doesn't get damaged. That's what I would like companies to sell me, other companies, but in our ages this will not happen. As you know, all the devices have problems, and they have problems because we have to pay again for spares and all this stuff.
And of course, BSP's favorite, we have to cover, do you have your Keeleys? that you can show him.
Yes, yes.
Because he is dying for that.
I have it here. I put it on a map tank for one day, and I have put it inside the GZPS, UFS, excuse me, right now. It's a little big, as you see, because I have put a third-party 510 connection on GZPS to connect it on a Stealth Cap. Okay. But as you know, you can connect it directly to GZPS. Achilles is a small atomizer, a thin atomizer that can be used everywhere. Some people ask me if it's like a diver or a killer or a new China atomizer that I don't know how it is made inside. I think its name is Terminator Tank Vienna, something like this. Achilles is not made like this. First of all, it has the same width in all its length. It's not fatter down. It goes inside tanks like all the China atomizers, and it has liquid control and air control. It has a moving pole, adjustable pole like Ithaca, or almost like Ithaca. It's a little different. And I don't think that we need something else from a thin atomizer. We can't add another feature. I'm trying to think something more, but I can't find any. So a thin atomizer that can go everywhere and have liquid and air control is what we all would like to use. To put it everywhere, inside every tank, inside every third-party construction, inside the constructions, etc.
They can use it as a drip, like a dripping addy.
Yes.
Like if it was a 306 or a 901.
Yes, yes. Like a dripper, you can use it on bottom feeder mods like Reo. You can use it on tanks. Everywhere, everywhere. You can do with Achilles exactly what you can do with China atomizers. Think like that.
Like the 306s, the 510s, the 901s, those atomizers. That you put a drip shield?
Yes, yes, of course. If you can put a drip shield on a China atomizer, you can put it there too, because it has the same emitter.
BSP is smiling right now. He wants to put the drip shield and flood it. And vape it. Look at him, he's already asking for it in chat. And building the coil on there, is it as simple as building it, what we're doing now? As far as on Odie or Ithaca or IADI, stuff like that? Is it as simple as that?
It is, yes, it is simple as that, yes.
Okay.
It is very simple, very simple. I don't want to make customers spend a lot of time making a coil. To my opinion, excuse me, a coil must be built in 2 minutes. And I think that if I remember well, I made a video building the Ithaca, and it took me 2 minutes exactly, of course, with pre-made wires. Okay. But if you want to make a coil on your atomizer on Ithaca, you mustn't twist coils this time that you make your coil. You can sit the previous day for half an hour, make 10 wires, and keep them in a place on your pack.
Yeah, that's what I do. I keep it in a Ziploc bag.
Yes, exactly. Or you can buy the pre-made wires.
Well, the pre-made's what you have. You have yes. 1.2 ohms, 1.5s, 3 ohms as well. I think 1.8s. So sometimes when I'm in the jam and I'm too tired to use my multimeter, I just use that, and it works. I mean, you're using 34 gauge as far as in your resistance wire, and 32 on the non-resistance on those. You know, and it works.
Yes, exactly like that. I read on the GC forum the same thing, that I have to twist wires and I can't twist wires. okay, for people that can't twist wires, they can use pre-mates. For people that can twist wires and make short connections, they can make them previous day on their phone. It's very simple, in my opinion. I don't twist wires anymore because Reddit wires have very small connections, and I like that. I have twist wires for 8 months. I don't know when I made them. I have forgotten how we twist wires.
I mean, it's easy. It works. You know. The only thing with that is that they need extras. You know, depending how the contacts are. That's all. It could be, you know, when the non-resistance and the resistance wire meet. I guess when the machine is processing all those wires, you know, sometimes you get one that's like not evenly in, and it's like a little bit, you know, like a little bit out instead of it being directly in. So when you're wrapping it, it can snap off. You know, that's the only thing. But that's like one out of, you know.
This, if I listen well, you say that they break in that point.
In the junction point. In the junction.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Yes.
If.
Yes.
I guess it's the way it's going through the machine.
Yes. Sometimes machine doesn't make all wires exactly the same. But if 2 per 10 wires or per 15 wires break, to my opinion, is not a big deal, because if you can't twist wires, you can use those. They are not expensive, as you see. Its cost is 0.6 euros.
It's very cheap. It's very. I spend more on coffee. Forget about it. That's for sure. I'm not, you know. That's why I like to get, if not like 60 or 80 of those, just to have on the side, you know, because when I have people coming over and my hands get tired. I don't know, but my hands get tired of making, you know, 20, 30, 40 freaking coils in less than 30 minutes. You know, I lose sensitivity in my fingers. You should see me at Vapor. I was just losing sensation altogether. I went to Bruce. Bruce, you gotta give me some pre-mates. I need pre-mates, man. I got tired. I got freaking tired.
You are very experienced with twisting wires, because I know some people told me what you do for vapers on a vape festival, and but it's easy enough. I understand, of course, that some people are older, some people have fat hands, some people never tried to twist
big.
Hey, you can't do it.
Mine is big. They're like Oompa Loompa fingers, you know. Forget about it.
Or some people can't see well. They can't. They have a problem with the eye. That's why I make pre-mates, because it is very easy to produce a wire.
It's simple. I mean, I've used it. I have it. And I personally don't have an issue, and I also then make, you know, stuff, and I just throw them in my Ziplocs and stuff. But the wires that I have, you know, the pre-mates, I use them when I need them. You know, I mean, right now, I'm really loving the ribbon wire, like the razor edge coils that I just started with. I'm really enjoying the hell out of that. It's giving me.
Bishop, I have something similar. You see, I have at least 50 wires here. 50 wires. And when I want to make a wire, I twist it, and I'm okay.
Well, it only takes 30 seconds with that, that's for sure. It doesn't take long. 1, 2, 3, and you're done. And it's already ohmed out, so it's already set, you know?
Yes. And the procedure, making a coil and putting on Ithaca with pre-made wires, I think it's very easy. The atomizer drives you to the right procedure. You can't do a mistake. You put wires, you put wicks on channels, and it's very simple.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I have mine right here. Here's mine. So, the ones that I got from Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, the thing is that it, you know, I always tell people that they start getting into RBAs. I said, you know, if you don't know how to use a multimeter, don't worry about it. You can buy these pre-made wires and use those on the other devices as well. They work, you know, just to start. You know, if it's those China small little rebuildables, just to see if they like it, and then they can move on to something, you know, down the road, you know, to see if they like it. If they're coming from dripping addies, because they don't know how to make a coil, and this is already made. It's already made for them, and it's quite simple to use.
Yes, yes, I agree. I was thinking to make ready coils, but I think it's maybe useless because a ready coil will be weak and loops with the wire around it. It has no meaning if you agree to sell ready coils. I sell only the ready wires. Making a coil around the wick, it's very easy, if you agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I mean, the thing is, I'm doing it all the time. So I see when someone has a little bit of, they feel a little challenged, and I tell them, I say, you know what? My first time, I was challenged too. So as you keep doing it, as you keep wrapping it around the wick, you get better at it. You just get better at it. You know, that's all what it is. You know.
You see by yourself that if you twist 10 or 20 coils around the wick, you will see that the distances between coils are the same, because you are very used to it, and you make very nice coils. The distances are the same. The first time I made the coil, I remember that the distance between the first two coils was like this, and on the third coil was like this. Yes. Now I'm very used to it with closed eyes.
It's you know, that's what it is. It's just practice, you know. I mean, and you know, when I got the IATI, and I had to admit, man, it was when I first got it in my hands, and I looked at this compared to what I was used to on the Odie, because this was the Odie on the ceramic, to put a wick on there with coils that's usually like 4 to 6 wraps, and then to duplicate the same thing on here, okay, on this smaller one on the IATI. Oh man, I had my work cut out for me, that's for sure. But you know, it worked out. I mean, I was surprised. I just moved the coils even closer together as I was wrapping it, and I still had room. I still had room to add more wraps if I wanted to. You know?
Yes, exactly. Yes.
But then it would have drawn up my ohms, like, because the gauge wire that I was using, I was like, yo, this is good. This is good. Forget it. This is gonna be good. And damn it, man, it was good. That's for sure.
Something else about Achilles. I have said on forum that ceramic of Achilles will be a very little bigger than IATI's ceramic. That's not true. I tried to make it a little bigger, but it had very thin walls, and it got broke. So I made it at the same. It has the same internal space like IATI's ceramic. That is a C2 ceramic. So what you can do, you will make coils on Achilles like you do on IATI. It's the same thing. And even better because we have a little more, enough more room than IATI. I don't want to explain you now what is happening, but we will have 1 more millimeter in reality. The internal space in Achilles ceramic is exactly like IATI's, but we will have 1 millimeter more. You will understand when you see it. I don't want to show you now, because as you know, China will copy design before I make it.
Oh Jesus, man, are they bad? And you know, and not to mention what happened recently from what you posted on the ECF forums.
Yes, yes. A customer sent me a PM, show me a photo, and I saw a construction like GG, and it wrote the GG on the side. That was crazy. I'm very tolerant with people that make copies, China copies, German, USA, but putting my name on a construction is it's crazy. I can't accept that. And I sent to this site an email before before I take action with my lawyer, and I asked him why he did that. He didn't respond till now. If he doesn't respond for the next 2 days, I will go to my lawyer to talk the details.
Yeah,
I'm not a bad person. I don't want to.
No, listen. That's one thing I want to let the viewers know, because there was a person on the forum that had a problem with the Odie, and I got to tell you, this part right here that I'm about to show, this right here, this is like the Odie mouthpiece, and there was a person on the GG forum that, and this is all one piece. This is all one stainless steel piece. This piece looked like it was soldered on because it totally ripped out. You only saw was this mouthpiece out, and this was sharp, completely, like it was just completely cut off. And Emil went out of his way and actually sent him a mouthpiece. Okay, and we knew it wasn't a GG product, but he still sent it to him anyway. Now, the website that Emil's talking about now, they were advertising and selling a GGTS. It had his initials, it had the GG on it, and it had, as far as his name on it, Emil, by Emil. Okay? Meanwhile, it was a different, it had 2 upper tubes, it had a different ring altogether, and the cap was different. It wasn't made by Emil. Okay, and then the customer is contacting Emil for warranty support, which Emil gives lifetime warranty on all his products. He does. So, what is Emil to do? Is Emil supposed to help this customer? But Emil felt worse because he was like, this customer got hoodwinked, and it's giving a bad name altogether. Totally a bad name. And I don't know what, I hope you go through your lawyer and see what happens, but this wasn't like a China duplication thing. This was like infringement altogether. I mean, you had the GG logo, you had the, in quotations, by Emil on the bottom of the telescopic tube. It's a little bit too much right there. That's something I pay for your products, so, even for a customer to see it somewhere else and being advertised it's your own and it's not your own, that bothers me. That yes. bothers me.
Bishop,
I mean, this thing doesn't cost $1, I mean...
I don't have a problem if someone makes a copy. Okay, do your copy, do whatever you want. Don't put my name on it, because you want to fool customers, first of all, that don't buy the real thing and they will have problems later. Of course, I'm sure that these people will not support any of their customers. And not only people are fooled, but my name. People think that GG is made like this, and they ruin my name too.
These two things. The craftsmanship is not the same. I mean, you look at the pictures on the forum, and I was looking at the one for the bottom cap, which threw me off because it's using like a white seal on the access, and it's not even designed the way that the cap is. It's very different. And,
yes, and the ring
is fatter. The ring is bigger. And I mean, I didn't get to see the inside of the collector tank and the 510 pin, so I don't even want to know how that looks. But the customer thinking it's yours, and then they're saying, "Oh, Emil made this and it's crap." Meanwhile, Emil didn't make this.
Yes, and they made the polygonal head. I made the polygonal head before some time, but now we made it rounded. We made it rounded here. We have made the. I don't know what this construction has as contacts. Maybe they are still. I think that these people make older, copy older designs, because if you start copying GG right now, you will need 3, 4, or 5 months. On those months, I have made a lot of improvements, and these people have to stay at the older design because they need time to produce it. And every time they send an older design with no improvements, of course, and people think that GG is like this.
But we have the serial numbers. At least we got the serial numbers because everyone has, you have a listing. Ariel also keeps Ariel MX from the forum. He also keeps a listing of all the people that has owned them and has the serials and stuff. So that way, if someone's looking to buy one, they can check the serial number to see if it's actually yours. If it was made by your hands.
Yes, but not all people register their serials, and except that. Imagine a new person that wants to buy a cigarette, an electronic cigarette. He sees the picture of the fake GG on the side. He likes it, and he buys it. He bought something that has my name on it, and after 1 week or 10 days, we'll go on forums and we'll say that I bought a GG and it's not like I want it. That's not right, of course. If you agree.
I agree, but it's a hindering. It hinders on customer support because you give lifetime warranty, and you tend to feel bad on the customer. The customer had no fault. He didn't know it wasn't yours. He saw your name on it. It says by Emil, the GG, and he thinks it's yours, and it's a bargain of a price until he contacts you, and then you find out, you're like, you know what, that's not mine. And I think was that how you found out about this website? That one of the customers contacted you?
Bishop, I have to tell you that at least 3 or 4 or 5 people, I don't remember, sent me PMs telling me that they have a copy of GG construction, and they have a problem with one had a problem with ring because it was very tight and you couldn't screw it well on a collector tank. And another people had a problem with a engraved tube because his telescope couldn't go well inside the engraved tube. To tell you the truth, maybe it's something that I mustn't say it live, but I have to tell you that I changed those things to those people just because I wanted to make them happy. But I can't do this thing for a long time. Okay, I send 2, 4, 10 spares to those people too. I don't have a problem, but I'm afraid that if this continues, I will have a problem with my spares.
You're going to lose money if you keep doing that. I mean, you're just doing it because you feel bad of the customer. You're helping them out. They had, no idea, okay? But again, it's business. You can't keep doing that. That's I don't think a business will keep functioning if you're giving out free, warranty parts on something that you didn't make. Okay, if you did make it, it would be durable. It wouldn't break. I mean, my GGTS never broke on me or Odie or anything. The only thing would be ceramic, and that's China made, for crying out loud, and that's from torching and cleaning, the little ceramics and stuff,
Yes.
But that's disposable. I like to consider those parts. They can last a long time, but it's still disposable. You can always get it. They're like wicks. That's how I see it. But as far as for the parts, there's nothing. I don't see how it can break. I just can't see how. I mean, Manos ran it over on a truck, for crying out loud, and it worked out fine. It worked fine. A tractor trailer truck went right over his device, and it worked out fine. Switch works, everything works, nothing cracked. Forget about it.
Manos,
Yeah.
do you remember Manos, the Greek friend that
Yes.
the tractor went on HG, and it was okay.
It was okay.
Yes, yes, that's the point. We have to make nice constructions, and maybe now that the e-cigarette business is new, we have to make constructions like that because we will not ruin the name of e-cigarettes. We need that. We have already problems with countries that want to stop vaping. So we have to be careful on what we do. Do you remember when in older days some batteries exploded? And that was a big issue, and maybe some countries counted on that to stop vaping. We have to be really careful. I see too many constructions that are not made exactly right. I have sent emails to a Greek friend that his mod made a short circuit if a metal piece touch a body and a button together. I explained it that he can't sell this thing. And he was okay, he took them back and sent to people new constructions. But we just have to be careful, that's it. It's our main purpose. And then we have to look at the features and to external look, etc.
I totally agree. I agree in safety, that's for sure. I mean, when I do my special coil builds, I always tell people you got to use certain batteries, and you got to keep it within an amp limit. You know, that's what last thing I would want is someone to get hurt, that's for sure. If they're using a generic battery that it doesn't give you the amps that you need, and if the battery tends to spike. That's the other problem, and me that I like to go down to 0.6, 0.4, 0.3 ohms, and it all depends on what kind of build that I'm doing. I use different kind of batteries for that, that's for sure,
Do you remember an American guy that it was on news, on TV news too? A battery exploded, and he used the mod with a front button bending holes, and his mod broke his face here, and I think, if I remember well, it went down to his throat. That's terrible. We have to be careful. That's it.
Now the other thing that I feel safe about your product is the way it's designed. If the battery gets warm, it has ventilation caps to cool it off pretty swiftly. Also, you have the spring that in case there is a short or something that would occur, it'll melt the spring and the battery's not in contact anymore. So nothing is going to happen. As far as
and if you don't use a spring here, it will melt. The button spring will melt. Let's say that you don't want to have spring here. Spring of button will melt. So we have a second safety feature. Let's say that. Of course, you can always buy the GG fuse to put it on instead of axis to feel safe.
True. Now, there is a viewer that had a question regarding towards an expansion set for Ithaca, and I remember you mentioning that to me, but I'd rather you explain it to the viewers as far as what you have in mind for the expansion pack on Ithaca, what you plan on doing.
This, can you repeat?
Sure. One of the viewers, Max, was asking as far as if you're thinking of coming out an expansion set, like you did for Odysseus, but for Ithaca, either for long mode, short mode, stuff like that.
Yes, he want to explain to him about those updates, how we can do it with telescopic mouthpiece and the extensions.
Yep.
We will be able to put two more upper bodies. Upper body of Ithaca is this, is the piece after the clear window, this upper body. We can put two more upper bodies, or we can remove the existing upper body and screw the cap of Ithaca exactly on the clear window or on the steel window. Steel windows are not produced yet. So we can make Ithaca very short or make it semi-big or very big. And every upper body adds 2 more ml of liquid on Ithaca. And of course, mouthpiece will be adjusted because it's telescopic, will be adjusted exactly to where you like it, adding or removing.
Wow, look at that. Wait, let me put that a little closer to the camera. The size of that mouthpiece. I mean, right now they can add like 3 upper caps to 4 upper caps on that. And that will give you more than 10 milliliters. I would say almost 15 milliliters of juice you can hold on there. 15 milliliters of juice, easy, I think. Yeah.
After a telescopic mode that is GTS, I wanted to make a telescopic tank or something like this. Telescopic, of course, tank will not work because liquid will go out of the tank. So I was trying to find a way to make tanks shorter or longer because some people like it like this. So I prefer to put sections like I did on my first GG construction, GG Transformer, if you remember. It was not telescopic. You added sections and to put all kinds of batteries. So I thought on Odysseus first when I made it, that I would be able to add the sections and make a longer mouthpiece like I did. But the telescopic mouthpiece, it's even better because not only you can adjust the length of the mouthpiece, but you use only one mouthpiece for all the lengths of Ithaca can takes or Odysseus can takes. So you don't have to pay for 2 mouthpieces, and you don't have to unscrew the short one to put the long one, etc. All these things. I'm trying to solve problems one by one to make the best construction I can.
Now, I have another question from Ariel MX, which we know from the forums. He's asking what aesthetics changes will you have on the new GGTS?
The only aesthetic change are the engravings. I changed it and I did one ring with engravings like this around here and around here. The wings will be at the same place here, but now we don't have engravings like this, but we have 2 rings, one here and one here around the button. I think that that way you see even more engravings on the engraved cube, and to my eyes they seem even more elegant.
Ooh, elegant. I like elegance, that's for sure. It's like cinnamon titties, baby. Forget about it. Anybody have any other questions to ask? Well, I know BSB is just waiting when he's getting his Achilles, that's for sure.
I will send you one. I will send you one immediately when I make it. I will send you, Bishop, my prototype to see if the main production is made like this. If I make many changes to this prototype, I will send you the new prototype that I will make in about, I think, 10 days. 10 days it will be ready.
Okay.
I want to improve some things to make it easier for the customer to handle.
Well, I'm going to put it to the test, that's for sure. There's another question which I think we've already spoken about previously, but the viewers are asking regarding towards your variable voltage VIR Proteus. As far as what's the status on that, or I know that's a little mixed with the other stuff that we were dealing with, but they're just curious as far as like when you'll have a prototype of that going.
Yes, Bishop, I will tell you two things about the VIR and about electronics. I was very quick when I saw the first electronic mod in the market, and I tried to make mine as quick as possible. Unfortunately, my electronic guy was very busy and couldn't or didn't understand how serious my work was, and he delayed me very much. This is something that I thought before 1.5 years. It's an electronic part that works in a different way than the electronic mods you see today. But the bad thing is that it's out of my control. If I knew about electronics, I would have made it 1 year ago. But it's out of my hands, so I'm trying hard to bring first Proteus in the market. I will show you it's electronic. It's something that you will get impressed, I'm sure. And then VIR will follow. I'm just hoping that I will do it, I will make it soon, but it's out of my hands. That's why I delay so much, and that's why I opened a thread about VIR 1 year ago, and still it's not ready. It's out of my hands, that's it. And maybe I was in a hurry, and because I was happy about what I thought about the VIR. But the circumstances were not good for my electronic guy, so I delayed. I will bring it to the market after Proteus, that's for sure, and I will do my best to bring it as soon as possible. That's all I can say.
Well, that's okay. I mean, there's something coming down the road in the mix as far as to help with the GGTS, you know, so
yes.
Which, you know, Fluid Vape myself was showing you, so
yes,
that could, who knows, maybe that can help a little bit, you know.
I agree. We talked about this. I agree that is a very nice construction. I'm sure you will make a video about it. I think that it's a very nice add-on for GGTS, and I hope it will go well. It will sail well.
I think so. I mean, it's producing very. I mean, it's the same concern that you also brought up with the size, but that's something that Rob and we were talking about, and it could be shed down a little more to, you know, to decrease the size a little. And I'm just curious with your stealth cap, is the new stealth cap a little smaller?
No, stealth cap is a little longer. It's about 2 millimeters longer. 2 millimeters.
Okay.
It's not something special. And excuse me, because you asked me about the length of electronic part, the length of electronic part will be, I have to make it as small as I can. That's my main concept. I have to make it small. So I think that it will be it will add on GGPS about 20 millimeters. Okay. If I do it at 20 millimeters, I would be very glad. It would be the smallest electronic part that exists today.
That's for sure. That's for sure. I know Rob is here with us, so he's he's paying attention on that. That's for sure. You know, because a few people that I've spoken to about it, they've been extremely interested because, you know, they vape at 0.6. They vape even lower, but they like the idea of having it that it's steady. You know, and we did it with one whole tank, and that lasted for almost 3 to 4 hours without changing the battery. You know,
yes.
And it didn't heat at all, nothing. It was performing immaculately. I'm still doing the testing as far as for higher voltage. Now I'm already done with the sub-ohms, so now I'm like testing it at going past 6 volts to 7 volts. So I'm seeing how the device works, and I'll try to give you some news on that in a later date with Rob. That's for sure, from Fluid Vapor, about it. But I'm
yes.
still working on it. That's for sure.
It's a great electronic part because you can vape at very low ohms, something that all the rest of the electronic parts have a problem. If you are able to vape at 0.4, it's a very nice electronic part. You can vape as you vape with a mechanical mode.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
I mean, I just can't believe it, you know. I mean, I'm getting better results on that than a mechanical mod at 0.6 ohms. You know, that's what it is. Because on the low drop, it's a little less on a mechanical versus this device. This device is kicking it up to 3.9 volts with no problems, and that's already, you know, a few voltages of an improvement, of a warmer factor. You know, that a lot of people that enjoy sub-ohms they're gonna fall in love with this, and they don't have to bring 2 or 3 batteries. They only need to bring maybe 2. That's it for the whole entire day. Easy.
If you can vape a dual coil atomizer like Saka is with the electronic part, it's what you need, of course. I agree.
You know, I mean, I'm already changing the battery. Once the battery hits at 3.9 volts, I'm already swapping another battery in, and that's like after an hour and a half to 2 hours. And now I can just stay there for 4 hours on the same battery, 5 hours, until it gets to 3.2 volts. You know, and it's using all the mods out of the battery too, so it's even better. You know.
Exactly.
So I like that. I like that a lot. That's for sure. Consistency.
Yes.
You know.
Exactly. You don't have a drop voltage at all. You vape exactly what you want. I have seen that the Saka works very well on mechanical modes, just because even if battery gets as low as 3.2 volts, it still vapes okay. It's because it has a small resistance. Of course, it would be better, even better, if you have a consistency on volts. I agree.
Absolutely. Now, do you have any other things as far as coming up on the horizon that you haven't mentioned yet?
No, I have only Proteus that I have to make now. Electronic part, as I told you, must be sent to the factory to be made, sample. And then I have other small changes on Proteus. For example, I don't want to put a spring on the bottom cap like other mods, because spring will touch stainless steel and will not make a very nice contact. I want to have a brass, even if I have a steel cap, I want to have brass contacts inside. Maybe I will make it I will make a spring-loaded construction on the cap instead of a simple spring. A moving pole on a Proteus. I have a lot of ideas. When it will be ready, I will show you. I think that we have, this will be, maybe, to my opinion, of course, the best cigarette because it will be thin. Big mods are nice, okay? I make big mods. But if, for example, we had a thin cigarette with consistency, it will be great, in my opinion. And that's what I'm trying to make with Proteus.
Okay, I'm just letting you know the viewers because they're asking the battery, and after testing so much as far as that Panasonic battery, the PD2900s HDs, the NCRs, which is the next upgraded cell from the NCRs, from the GCRs, that Sal from Obertronics had, and now Fluid Vapor became a reseller, and they started carrying the batteries. So if anyone's interested, they can get it from him or from Sal from Obertronics. The one thing I have to mention about these batteries is that Sal sent me an email, a very concerning email, because people were buying other batteries that were NCR, either protected, it said protected on there, and it's not the same cells. You're not getting the same amps. So if you were going to do 0.5 ohms, 0.4 ohms, it's not for that. You can't use that battery for that. And people were calling saying that either it was getting warm and it was because they bought the wrong battery. So that's why he's emphasized that to get the high drain batteries, the PD2900s to 10 amps. And if you're doing 0.6 ohms, you're not even doing 10 amps. So you're still under the threshold, but the battery will go up to 15 amps before it cuts off. They just advertise it at 10 amps. That's it. There is a 5 amp wiggle room, but they didn't want the customers to know that. It's just a safety wiggle room. But I do 0.3 ohms on dual coil meshes, and I use those batteries just fine, and I chain vape the hell out of it, and it's not going over those high amps at all. So I don't see many people doing that. Okay, so being that they're not doing that, if you're going to be doing 0.6, 0.5 ohms, then I recommend these batteries. If you're not doing those ohms, you don't need to get these batteries. You can use MNKEs. They're fine. They will produce fine. As well, the AWs, 0.7 ohms is fine. 0.8 ohms is fine. You're not going to have a problem. Okay? Save some dollars. You don't need these batteries. Only if you're going to go for very, very low sub-ohms. Then you need a better quality battery. You want to be safe. You want to make sure that the chemistry is well. These batteries are very, very well built. Totally. There we go. Fluid Vapor actually put up the link as far as on the site. But he has it on his website as well. So, I have them. They come in a box. They come like this. There's 2 batteries and a casing. Okay. And Fluid Vapor already sent it to you email, so when Vasilis gets it, hopefully soon, I hope, that's for sure. I think he sent it out last week, so depending with the shipping. I know there was an issue with customs about sending batteries over there, so we had to put it down as something else in order for it to pass through. That's for sure, because Manos was telling me that they couldn't even get MNKEs now over there. So I was like surprised. I was like, really? Wow. Shoot, we're going to have to try to do, a service favor over here. That's for sure.
If some countries ban cigarettes, we will send the GZTS. We will put a lamp here and we will sell it like a torch.
Unbelievable. That's for sure. But does anybody have any other questions? Well, hey Max, it all depends on what's the voltage. It all depends. If you're using a mechanical mod, I can tell you you're not using 4.2 volts. It's going to drop, you know, to 3.8 and change or 3.7 and change depending how good the mechanical mod is. And then you got to do the ohms calculation from there. You know, whatever the load drop is, and then the resistance. That's all. Yep, there's a voltage drop. Yeah, it's not like you're vaping at 4.2. The battery would register at 4.2, but then when it drops down, it could be at 3.8, 3.7. It all depends how clean the contacts are. You know, some mechanical mods will produce higher than others. And then as you're using a chain vaping, then if you measure the voltage of the battery, after an hour it may read from 4.2, it may be already at 3.9 or 3.8 volts. Then it's not hitting the same and you're right away switching the battery, you know? Because then the low drop will be maybe 3.4, 3.3.
Bishop, I would like to say something about the conductivity on GTS and on mechanical modes. First of all, because all contacts of GTS are signed, that's very important to keep them signed, and you have to keep them signed and you have to check them regularly. I mean that you can, if people have problems like this, are on springs as usual and on contacts. You take off the button of the GTS or its axis and you put a mesh on, you clean with mesh. You put your mesh around the axis and you start turning the vending cap, or you put the button on the mesh and you move it like this. So contacts will stay shiny and you will not have contact problems. GTS doesn't have contact problems if you keep it clean. We have to say that because some people ask me about this thing and they think that GTS is not working right because it's made like this. That's not right. Moving contacts have to be clean. That's a rule.
Yeah, I totally agree on that. I mean, as you've seen on my other videos I showed, I use toothpaste, toothbrush, and I clean my contacts, and wow, it's like
yes.
super duper power restored.
Yes. And because something else, because some people think that electronic mods don't need cleaning. That's not true, of course. Electronic mods have contacts. If you don't clean them, you will see on your screen, for example, 4 volts, and you will vape at 3 volts. But you can't see, and you still think that you vape at the volts you see on the screen. But you vape at 3 volts, and you don't have the vape you want. All contacts needs cleaning, except you make contacts from pure gold. You can't do that, okay?
I totally agree. I have not tried the mesh method yet. I've just been using the toothbrush and toothpaste on the contacts and my sonic cleaner for my stainless steel. I still have yet to clean my brass. I'm still looking into that, you know, as far as cleaning my brass, making it all shiny and everything. And it's
I suggest a mesh only on contacts. On internal contacts, don't use mesh for external surfaces because they will be matte style, and if you want a shiny style, you will not have it. You have then to go to a jewelry shop to shine again. Only for contacts. Mesh leaves surfaces, contacts as shiny, not as shiny as the external look of the GTS, of course, but they stay as shiny as they can, except you have wheels and you can shine your contacts. That's another matter. I don't think that anyone has wheels on its home except from 10 people over the 100,000 on ACF.
Understand. Well, does anybody have any more questions to ask Emil? We're a little bit lagging, but let's see.
If people don't ask, that's a good sign. Thank you too, Smack.
Oh, Smack is Max, that's for sure. Cool guy, definitely. So if no one else has any questions to ask Emil, I'm going to let Emil go to try the show. We were supposed to do an hour. Apologies to BSP. He's coming up next. It's already past the hour. That's for sure. But I want to thank Emil again for coming. That's for sure. It's been fun. It's been glorious to have you. I can't wait to have you again when our Keelys come out. That's for sure. I'm going to be all ecstatic all over it, as well as BSP.
It's my pleasure, Bishop, to come to your shows. Thank you very much for the invitation. And be sure that I'm going to sleep hard now.
No problem, my friend. Well, you go to bed, have a nice... Well, it's morning time already for you, right? It's like, what, yes. Almost 7 in the morning, I think? 6?
Kids are awake for school.
Kids are awake. Okay, so I'm gonna let you go, Emil. Thank you for coming again. Thanks everyone for watching. That's for sure. It was great having you guys. I'm gonna pass over the show to BSP. He's been waiting patiently. And BSP is already announcing threat letters not to touch his Achilles. Shoot. Okay, so I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much again, Emil, for coming. That's a wrap, guys. Have a good evening. Love you guys. And morning to all you guys that's Grease viewers out there. That's for sure. Take care. Live hard. And vape hard, baby. Forget about it. Okay. All right, Emil, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for coming.
I thank you too, Bishop. I really enjoy very much coming to your shows.